So before this video starts, I want to make sure you know something. This video was made not to spread hate about this game, but instead to encourage Rovio to do better and show the team everything that needs to be fixed within this game, as I care about it so much. I've also sent this video to Buck, the Rovio Classics Angry Birds community manager, on Twitter, in hopes that he will send this video to the team that worked on this game, as that is kinda the job of a community manager. Now, onto the video. So if you're familiar with Rovio Classic Angry Birds, you should know that when it launched there were many bugs in the game. Now a lot of these have been patched, but a lot of them weren't, and today I'm going to go through every bug and problem that is currently in the game. If it was in the game in the past, was fixed, then it will not be in this video, whereas if it's still in the latest version of the game you can download from the App Store or Google Play, it should be in here, and if not, please tell me in the comments below if I've missed one. I made a tweet about this on my Twitter and have included the suggestions people have replied with. If you want the chance to be featured in a video in the future like these people have, you might want to follow my Twitter linked in the description. So number 1, the birds on the main menu are covered up by arrows. This was not like that in the original game, and also the birds and pigs are supposed to appear at the bottom of the Surf and Turf level select, but do not. Number 2, Stella's bubbles are the modern Friends and Reloaded versions instead of the classic versions. Here is a comparison. Number 3, the end credits are wrong. They are supposed to be the background of the last level played, not the main menu background. The reason it's like this is because this game was built off of Reloaded, which was built off of Friends. And in those two games, the credits background is the main menu background. So instead of changing it for Rovio Classic Angry Birds, they just left it like that. The image of Red, Blue's and Chuck's corpses, Bomb Flying, and Matilda's corpse also aren't in the credits. By the way, if anyone from the team is watching this and are planning to implement all this into the game, the golden egg in the credits is supposed to cover up Matilda, and once it's collected, her corpse will go where the golden egg was. The Red, Blues, and Chuck are supposed to be at the top. Bomb is supposed to go above the word credits. Number 4. The Beach Balls make the Friends sound instead of the classic sound. Number 5. If you leave the Beach Balls bounce for 30 seconds on Golden Egg 3, they will start to break the level and give you scores that should not be possible on this level. In the original, this would not happen no matter how long you left them to bounce. They also bounce much faster in Rovio Classics Angry Birds than they do in the original. Number 6. The tutorials are a mess. I know the short fuse bomb and Corpse Matilda bugs were fixed, but the tutorial is still awful. Here's a comparison of Hal's Seasons tutorial and his Rovio Classics Angry Birds tutorial. By the way, the reason I'm using his Seasons one is because it's exactly the same as his Classic one, just using the more accurate sprites to Rovio Classics Angry Birds. I don't see why they couldn't have just used the ones from Seasons. They used the exact same designs as Rovio Classic Angry Birds and look much better than the ones in Rovio Classic Angry Birds, as well as the exact same as the original, so there wouldn't be any inaccuracies there, so I don't get what they were doing. Another issue with the tutorials is that the background is blue instead of white for some reason, and if you go into the next bird, it does this little animation which doesn't look right. This happens because, to no one's surprise, the tutorials in Friends and Reloaded have this too, and they didn't change it. The birds are also in the wrong order. It's supposed to go Red, Blues, Chuck, Bomb, Matilda, Hal, Terrence, Bubble, Stella, Mighty Eagle. Rovio Classics has it as Red, Blues, Chuck, Bomb, Terrence, Matilda, Hal, Bubble, Stella, Mighty Eagle. What's the point in changing the order? Number 7. Golden Egg 4, the one you get for 3-star gold poached eggs, is completely wrong. In the original, you could hit the blocks as much as you wanted, or not even hit a block and just a pig, and still get the star. You could even use the bird's power by tapping them again. In Rovio Classic Angry Birds, however, this is not possible. You can only get the star by doing flock of birds, slingshot, 1 bird, 1 block, 1 pig. No other scenario. The sounds for this golden egg are wrong too. If you were to hit the slingshot, then a bird, the bird will make their launching sound, and if you were to tap them again, they would make their power sound. Then, if you were to tap a pig, they'd make a pop sound. However, in Rovio Classic Angry Birds, this is not the case, and the bird will just make their normal sound, and the pig will just make their normal sound, no matter what you do. Number 8. If you leave any golden egg that uses the field background, the background of the golden egg menu will fuse the field. Number 9. Red does not appear at the bottom of the golden egg screen on iOS. Number 10. The option to get rid of the detail in the background is missing. Number 11. In Golden Egg 12, the one you get for completing all danger above for 3 stars, the birds are blurry, apart from Matilda and Hal. This is probably because those two had to be replaced in an update with the correct designs. Red, Blue's Chuck and Bomb, on the other hand, look awful. Number 12. When completing a 3-star golden egg, the star only comes up when you beat the level the first time and never again. In the original, a faded star is supposed to appear if you've already beaten it. Number 13. King Pig is missing his hat in the final levels of the Big Setup, Ham High, and Cake 2 of level 15 of Birthday Party. It's not like there should be an issue with putting hats on King Pig or anything, because he has one in Mine and Dine 16-15, so I have no idea why he doesn't have the hats in those levels. Did they just forget to put them on him? Number 14. There are no power-ups, despite the fact this remake is based off of, has power-ups. Number 15. Incorrect fonts and pause buttons are used. Now, this one is extra strange to me, as in the dev diaries showing the remake, they had the correct pause button and font. But when the game launched, both of these are inaccurate, and they still are now. Why? Did they purposely try to mislead us for whatever reason? Who knows? Number 16. You can't tap the birds on the main menu screen. They also don't fly as close to the screen as they do in the original. Number 17. Bubbles, Stella, Mighty Eagle, Sardines, and the level complete trophies do not fly on the main menu screen for whatever reason. Number 18. The physics are awful. Now before you say, there's nothing they could do. The original was built on K, 3D, and the remake is on Unity. That is very, very true. But you're missing one thing. Those are the game engines the games were built on. Both the original game and Rovio Classics Angry Birds use the same physics engine, which is Box 2D. So realistically, they should be able to match the physics to a point where you can't even tell it's a different game. Now, the physics being different wouldn't be a problem in Rovio Classics Angry Birds if the levels in the game were to work properly, but the thing is they don't. Take a look at this. Number 19. Either the pigs are stronger or the birds are weaker. Take a look. Number 20. The color transitions on the main menus aren't as smooth as the original. And in fact, the whole game feels a bit slower than the original. Number 21. A lot of people agree there should be an option in the game to change the sprites of the birds and pigs to chrome sprites. This would be really good as some people don't like the classic sprites and others don't like the chrome sprites. So this would be an amazing way to please everybody, as well as both the classic sprites and the chrome sprites appeared in the original game at some point, so it's good to have everyone's favorite version. Buck said that would make the game too large, but I don't know how true that is, seeing as most of the stuff that are already in the game's files are currently from leftovers from Friends and Reloaded. They could just delete those files and add the option to choose the designs. There, problem solved. Number 22. So, the bomb in the dev diaries has a white spot. Great, that's accurate to 2012. But when the game launched, it's not present. I mean, that doesn't matter, sure it's not accurate, but he looks just as good without it. But instead of them using his sprites where he doesn't have the white spot, they colored over them with a very, very, very dark green, not even with a black. What is the point of that? This is very apparent during his flying animation. Sure, none of this is really noticeable in-game, but I mean, it still shouldn't be like this. He should have took the time to either replace the sprite or color it in with the right color. And number 23. The App Store app icon is very, very blurry. The Google Play icon has the flag, but when downloaded it isn't there. Both the App Store and Google Play also show Matilda in her Chrome sprite instead of 2009 sprite, which is what is in Rovio Classics, which isn't even accurate anyway, because the one in 2012 was the 2010 sprite. The App Store and Google Play also have Chuck's flying sprite look like this for whatever reason. Number 24. There is also a bug where if you keep on tapping the Mighty Eagle button, you will get 2 sardines. This bug is also on the App Store and Google Play pictures and the website pictures. Number 25. In the original game, every level of the big setup has construction cranes in the background. In Rovio Classics Angry Birds, only the first 7 do. Every other level in the big setup is missing the cranes. Also, if you quit to the main menu when on the first 7 levels of the big setup, the background will be missing the cranes. Number 26. The icons for the levels are way too big and use a different font. I don't see why they had to change this, it just looked uglier. Number 27. The pause menu has cross promotions in it, promoting newer Angry Birds and Rovio games. Well, I would be fine with this if this was stated at the very beginning, but in all the dev diaries, they specifically mentioned there would be no advertisements, whereas this does count as advertisement. I mean, Buck may not think so, but this literally is the dictionary definition of advertising. Now, like I said, everyone would be fine with this if this was stated this was going to be in the game at the very beginning, but it wasn't. And also, this was updated into the game, it was not like this at launch. Now, the original game, when it was money, had this too, but it had a feature with Postman Pig where he'd be in the corner, and if you were to tap him, the ads would go away, and if you were to tap him again, they'd come back. So why don't they bring that feature into this? It'd be very good. Number 28. When some birds are on the slingshot, it looks pretty weird. There's a line behind them, which is not present in the original game, so why is this here? Well, some birds look a bit smaller than they should do when they're on the slingshot, like Red, for example. Number 29. When the birds are getting onto the slingshot, they play their launching sound. Do you know why this is in the game? Yet again, it's a carryover from Angry Birds Friends, where the birds do the exact same thing in it. Number 30. When you quit to the menu for a few seconds, the blocks in the slingshot will be floating in the air. As well as if you actually zoom in on a few levels, you can see the slingshot is actually floating in the air. Number 31. On the main menu, Terrence is stretched a bit. Number 32. The episode icons use chrome pigs. Now that was true in the 2012 version for Mine and Dine, Birthday Party, Golden Eggs, and Surf and Turf. But for Poached Eggs, Mighty Hoax, Danger Above, The Big Setup, and Ham High, they were the classic designs in 2012, so yeah, this should not be like that. Speaking of episode cards, the eggs on the Poached Eggs episode card look very, very strange. And on the Danger Above episode card, you can see the classic version of the pigs behind the chrome versions that they've just put over. Now, both of these are in the original and in Rovio Classics Angry Birds. The thing is, a remake is supposed to fix the problems in the original game, not bring them in and then some. Number 33. Bubbles is missing from the Birthday Party and credits. Now, he was missing in the latest version of the original, but the thing is, in 2012 and in the majority of versions, he is there, so why is he not? Number 34. If you use Hal's ability backwards, it doesn't come round like it should, but instead does more of the thing it does in Angry Birds Friends. And while we're talking about Hal, he uses the wrong voice. He's supposed to sound like this. But he instead sounds like this. Number 35. The Surf and Tough's episode card is missing the word bonus. Number 36. Bomb gets bigger when you launch him. Number 37. Bomb's right eye is grey in all the cutscenes but the first one of every episode. Now again, it was like this in the original game, but as I said previously, a remake is supposed to fix the problems of the original, not keep them in. Number 38. When clicking the view account part of the Rovio account section, it will not show up. As well as I think the Rovio account section should get a bit of a glob as well. This is what it looked like in the original. It looks much better. You can see your stars, you can see your golden eggs, you can see your feathers. This one, just boring. Number 39. The birds can no longer bounce on the birds that haven't been launched from the slingshot. And the final problem almost everyone has with this game is the fact that it's missing content like episodes and the Golden King Pig and some other golden eggs. The Golden King Pig was released in the original game in 2012 for beating the first 6 episodes with all the stars. Why isn't it here? I don't know. There also was an Activity King Pig figure, which if you scanned it onto your device, it would let you use the Golden Egg King Pigs features without having to 3-star anything. But I'm not sure if they could get that to work with Rovio Classics, but if they can, they should definitely make it, as well as, actually add the Golden King Pig to Rovio Classics Angry Birds. Very sad that's missing, as it was very fun. Now on to the episodes. The episodes I've seen everyone wants to come back the most are Bad Piggies, Red's Mighty Feathers, and Short Fuse. Now Bad Piggies can come back easily, as almost, if not all of its levels were remade and reloaded. So what they could do is just port them over, change all the sprites and everything. And yeah, the episode icon and some of its stuff is even in the files for Rovio Classics Angry Birds, so it shouldn't be too hard. And I theorize that they might add it as an update for Bad Piggy's 10th anniversary, because that's this month, but who knows, knowing this game they probably won't, but fingers crossed. As for Red's Mighty Feathers and Short Fuse, on the other hand, they aren't here because this game is apparently supposed to be a 2012 version because for the hashtag #BringBack2012, but honestly that feels like a cop-out to me, as hashtag #BringBack2012 did not mean to remove any episodes, and they know that. Now, one of the most common excuses as to why Red's Mighty Feathers and Short Fuse are not here, as well as the 2012 thing, is also because they feature mechanics that are not in the Unity versions of any game, and it would be hard to recreate them. Now, only thing I can say to that is, they should learn how to. The old Rovio team learned how to do that stuff 9 years ago on inferior hardware, so I'm sure the new team should be able to make all that stuff work on much newer hardware, right? What are your biggest problems with this remake? Tell me in the comments below, subscribe, and like the video. Good.